And welcome back. We are live from DRJ Fall 2023 in Phoenix, Arizona, JW Marriott Desert Ridge Resort and Spa.
That
I
is
got
the
it
one.
right. Took me 5 hours to get it right. But
Congratulations,
I got
Alex.
it right.
Hour 5, you finally made it. We're very excited. Our last hour of the day, you can see the banner has changed on the green screen. Very exciting, by the way, and one of the most exciting moments of the last hour for me. This hour is sponsored by Illuminate Advisory, the risk advisory firm inspiring organizations to harness the power of risk. And we have our first guest
Yes.
of the last hour who's been waiting very patiently for us. I would not have waited as long as Carol has. So Alex is going to help Carol get situated
Go.
and make sure the microphone's in front of your mouth there.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
There we go. Perfect.
Welcome,
Carol, welcome.
Thank you, gentlemen, very much. I was honored to be asked to be with you.
First of all, our apologies for making you wait for 40 minutes. Yeah, we've had calendar issues, but we thank you for your patience, and we're excited that you're here to chat with us.
You're just practicing unpreparedness, right?
Yes, that's what we're doing. You caught on.
I caught on. I get the prize.
We've had a running joke all day. Ann Pickering with Unsolved mentioned that there are 20,000 incidents that happen every single day, and we've been joking that half of them have been ours. So
at least it feels that way today.
No, you guys are good.
So welcome to DRJ. How are you enjoying things so far?
I love it all the time. So I've been to DRJ several times, but it just continues to be good to network. That's the biggest thing to really take away from DRJ is to network with people. Make sure you've got that for beyond DRJ.
Now you have a presentation. You're speaking here, correct?
Yeah, we're trying not to get that involved. So.
Okay.
No.
Moving on.
No. My friends here are threatening to attend and heckle.
Oh. So when is that again?
Yeah, I have a special shenanigans table set up for all of them. But yes, this will be my first time speaking at DRJ.
Okay,
oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And what's the topic? Can you give it without giving everything away? What are you going to be talking about?
How to set up your resiliency program.
Oh, so something nice and easy.
Something really nice and easy.
So that's like a 2-minute, maybe 3-minute.
Yeah, I was hoping for a breakup center. I was really hoping for a breakout. It gave me a workshop.
Well, that is a workshop worthy. So your first time speaking, you're doing 2 hours.
2.5 hours, yeah.
So you're a risk taker like myself. I love that. You're not on a panel. You're not the third person with 2 sound bites. You're going to do 120 minutes.
Yeah, and I've done some speaking engagements with the local ACP. I've been up in front of my execs. I treat everybody equally, and I'll take it as it comes.
So let's hear a couple of nuggets that you're going to communicate in your workshop without giving everything away, but maybe a couple of nuggets.
Well, the first thing I'm going to ask is what do you guys have been here, my participants tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to ask them, okay, you guys have been here for basically 2 full days, Sunday afternoon through Tuesday morning. Define resiliency for me. Just gonna lay it out there and see once mayhem, silence,
complete mayhem.
That's when the shenanigan table takes over. But to make sure everybody's getting it and that it's okay for us to have a slightly different opinion and definition. The biggest thing is that for your organization, you define what the terms are. Because if you're not solid in your company on what the terms are, it's not a good thing.
That's true.
So like when you come here to these, you'll hear one of the acronyms, RTO, Recovery Time Objective. You talk to several people and you may get a slightly different definition of RTO.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you don't define that and give examples within your organization on those definitions, you could be wanting to say red when everybody's thinking yellow. And if you don't have the right calculations, your metrics are going to be off and you're not going to be able to communicate that to your executives. So definitions. Another one is there's been a lot of stuff thrown at these people. Sometimes it's overwhelming by the time you get to Tuesday afternoon.
Yes.
So I'm going to take them to breathe. Loved our general session speaker this morning.
Heidi. Yeah.
Oh my God, she was great. But to breathe, yes, this is a big, broad topic. Take one bite at a time. First off, who the heck asked you to be this lead, be this program? Guess what? You just found your executive sponsor.
Nice. I love that.
They will also be the ones that help you build a steering committee, policy, program, and you have to do it in that order, because trying to get it done from the bottom up, you're not going to be successful.
Absolutely.
So those are some of them. And then also, guys, there's no magic sauce here. It's common sense. Think of it as what we do when you plan an outdoor wedding. You've got everything set up, everything's beautiful. What do you do if it starts raining?
Cry.
or the wind is going to be taking the bride because the dress is so big. But have those backup plans.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Midwest. We always had backup plans for weather. I came out here and everybody was looking at me weird in Arizona, like, what are you doing? It's going to be sunny.
Sunny and hot.
That's it.
Sunny and
For the
hot.
next
It's just
365. Yeah.
it's
There's
just
nothing
different
else.
degrees of hot.
Yes.
And I'm trying not to swear. So but no, it's just common sense. How would you want to be treated? How do you want to treat somebody else? What do you need to know? If you're stepping into a new role and you're taking over this application or this team, would you want some notes be left behind for you to read from the previous person? Oh, gee, that's called documentation. What do you want if you step into this brand new? Leave it there for the next person.
Yeah, that's a very thoughtful way to look at it. I like that.
So, and it's like, I get some pushback for the IT guys. I'm a programmer at heart at start, and then I was the weird geek that got thrown into business continuity disaster recovery.
Surprise!
Yes. You get to talk. But the IT folks, they don't like to document. They really don't.
No, they don't.
Okay, and
Shame on you, IT people.
Yeah.
By the
but
way.
I've been able to overcome that by saying, okay, guys, you want to be able to work on the nice, bright, shiny stuff, right? Well, you want the service desk or IM operations to be able to respond to an incident so that you don't have to get called in the middle of the night, right? So you're a service desk person. Stuff's going sideways. Where are they going to find stuff without calling you?
Yeah.
You are building documentation, not for you. You're building documentation for somebody else. And that's a coworker. How are you going to treat that coworker? How would you want to be treated?
Yeah. Very true.
So
I know IT people just hate documenting. And if they commit to a date, you can add 2-3 months onto it. Always.
IT complaints can be sent to Alex at stoneroad.com.
I'm working with a bunch of IT people right now, so I'm experiencing
one worse than that is trying to get documentation out of the C-suite.
Oh,
They don't document.
Yeah.
You do it for them.
You
and
do
they
them
review.
for them.
Yes.
exactly. You're like, "Hey, that sounds a great idea. You should do that."
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. See how, let me know how that works out for you.
I've done that a few times to talk with the CIO or somebody, and it's, we need that. I'll get on that, and they're looking at you, right? And I'll get on that. Oh, I'll get on
I'll get
that,
on
and
that.
you will
will
add
add-
your piece, right?
Or it's the collective
Yes.
we, like we will document that, and you know that means
Means you.
that means me. Dang it.
Yep, that's the way it always works.
Yeah.
Yep. And I love it when I give them metrics and they're like, we don't like that speedometer. And I was like, why not? Well, it should be here. And I was like, yeah, this is called real data. If you
But we
want
wanted
coloring books, I'll let you hire somebody else.
Yeah, we're not talking bunnies and rainbows here.
No.
You know.
And you have to embrace the red. Somebody else said that. I'm not going to claim that.
Mm.
Embrace the red because now you're measuring the right stuff
Yep.
in order to fix it.
Yeah.
If everything's green, you're not measuring it right.
Yep. I worked with the vice president. We reported on a program that was red everywhere.
Mhm.
And we discovered why. We documented why. We presented it to her so she understood why things were as bad as they were.
Right.
And she went, and with a plan of how to address it as well. And she said, okay. She goes, it's okay to be red when I understand why we're red and what we're going to do about it.
Bingo.
You know,
Bingo.
and everyone was petrified and was, afraid to let her know. They were saying it was all bunnies and rainbows. It's like, no, it's not.
Well, and you work out with even your own finances. You've got your own budget, and then you go and say, can I go and buy this nice fancy car?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you haven't budgeted for it, you can't. But now, why am I buying that car?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why you're buying that car. Explain it to me why you want to do that. And that's what you're doing with the red.
Yeah, exactly. So you're doing this workshop tomorrow for, what was it, 2 hours? 2.5 hours?
Hours. Yeah.
2.5 hours?
So 1 to 3:30.
Yes. 1 to 3:30.
Very nice.
And it's your first time. Are you nervous doing that?
I was this weekend, but now that I'm here and I'm seeing people I've seen for a couple of decades, not trying to give away my age, but seeing the friends that I've got and the people that I've networked with so many times, I'm getting comfortable. And in fact, the first workshop that I attended, they broke us up into groups and everybody was kind of hesitant to step up and lead the group. I grabbed the marker, let's go.
Nice.
So kind of gave me a practice run at it.
Yeah.
So now I'm pretty comfortable with it, and I'm informal. I want people to talk. I want us to exchange ideas, and I'm never going to admit that I'm the expert. I'm always learning.
I think a lot of people forget that sometimes, that you are always learning. And in this industry with
You
change
should
happening,
be always learning.
you should be. Yeah.
You should be.
Should be.
There's a lot of people who are like, no, my knowledge learning stopped 15 years ago. I'm done.
Bye. You're in retirement now.
Correct. Yep.
Well, always learn.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people they see the alphabet soup behind somebody's name and all the certification, and they get intimidated by that. And yes, I've got some of that on my badge, but I try to still be approachable. And I took some tests and I've been through some bad things and been able to come out on the other side, but it's because of common sense and treating others the way I want to be treated.
Is that one of the reasons why so many programs, for lack of a better way of saying it, fail?
I think
because
so.
they're not using common sense. They're trying to adapt something or adopt something that they saw someone else say, or something that was promoted by somebody, or whatever the case may be. Oh, that's what we need, without really using their common sense to say, well, that's a manufacturer and we're a finance group, so why it can't be exactly the same. Is that one of the failures of us?
Yeah, I think common sense is a failure because we get wrapped up in the terminology and then we stop. This is too confusing. Bust through it, give a name to it, and move on, and then figure out what's going on. A lot of things with resiliency, you've got to pull everybody together. Everybody's still in silos. We don't like to cross, and resiliency is crossing. Sorry if I'm using up too much time.
No.
But if we don't work as a company, we're not a company. Stop pointing the fingers at each other because we all get the same paycheck from the same place.
Yeah.
It's to work together. And sometimes it's sad to see that people are pointing fingers at each other
Yeah.
when we're all on the same team. And even when we're at these conferences, go ahead and share the good, the bad, and the ugly so that we
Yeah.
can learn from each other.
Yeah, those are some of the most valuable sessions to me when a fellow practitioner stands up and publicly says, here's what went right, but also here's what went wrong. Like, I feel like we learn more from those as opposed to sometimes someone just stands on stage and says, hey, we were perfect and we're amazing. And isn't that great? And you're like, I have not learned anything. Congrats.
Congrats.
And here's your cape, but I don't how does that help me grow? How does that help me progress? When we truly share, you said the good and the bad, the reality is when I find those sessions very valuable.
Yeah.
And I
You
also
grow
find,
as a team, as an individual, and as an organization that way.
yes, very much so. Very much so. And those are the good networks that you also get is from people that are being real. The scariest thing that I'm going through right now is one of my executives brought a terminology back, and he's like, well, we need to present this. We're scrambling because we're like, okay, we don't have that data. It's a great, we can go for that, but we need to step back and make sure we've got all of this defined so that we can rate it properly. Great that you're excited about it. Let's do that. So yeah, it's just bringing people together and making sure that we're doing the metrics the right way.
Do you think maybe sometimes it's, all these different silos, it's people spend so much time building their empires, right? And their level of influence that sometimes someone comes along who kind of wants to break that down and work in a different way. And it becomes fear for that person because they don't know any other way.
I think some of it is shock and being beaten down and by a previous, it's almost like PTSD in your work, in your career. It's like I've had my hand slapped way too many times. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like I didn't. Sally did it. I didn't do it. Sally did it. It's go ahead and make mistakes. It's the only way you can learn.
Yeah.
But a lot of organizations don't like that,
Mm-mm.
right? Your boss, whether it be a manager, VP, C-suite, whoever, don't like mistakes, or they don't respond in a way where you feel you're learning, even though you know and recognize I made a mistake. They don't allow you to learn from it because they admonish you for it.
Correct. Also, we're dealing with. I don't know if you guys have ever heard the story of the emperor has no clothes on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I deal with that a lot too. That the C-suite has been treated like the emperor and has been told that he's got glorious robes on, and he doesn't. and then along comes Carol, and I tell him, we got to work on this. This is called clothing.
Nice.
But I treat my executives like I treat you guys. They hired me to tell the truth. And like you said earlier, yes, we've got red, but here's a good game plan. Here's A, this is what it's going to cost. B, okay, this is a little bit less. Or you go ahead and sign off on this and you accept the risk.
Yep.
You give them something. Don't just bring bad news. Bring some solutions that they can pick from.
Mm-hmm.
And they will respect you a lot better instead of just saying, oh, this is broken.
Fix it for us.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, and then we had the conversation with someone earlier today of, one person can't make all those decisions. They can't do everything.
No. And that's why you need a steering committee.
Yeah.
You need a chair, your executive sponsor of that steering committee, and that steering committee needs to represent the entire organization.
Yeah. I remember having a steering committee at an insurance agency, and any member of the steering committee had to report to somebody on the C-suite. If they didn't, they weren't they couldn't be a member of it.
I've got C-suite on my steering committee.
Well, you're lucky. Ours, it had to be someone who reported and still had decision power. So, and it worked great. It did make a difference.
Yeah. And I always try and prepare them before so that I don't embarrass them in front of their peers and
Yeah.
say, this is the information that I'm seeing. I'd rather, can we fix it before we get there? And we can show and present, okay, this was a problem and this is how we're fixing it,
Right.
instead of me blindsiding you in the meeting.
Right.
And so now I'm getting information saying, hey, Carol, we see this. How do I get this solved? How can we get this prioritized?
Right. Well, Carol, all the best with your workshop tomorrow.
Thank
Oh,
you.
if somebody wants to reach out to talk to you, if they have questions, how can they reach you?
I'm on LinkedIn. That would probably be the easiest way to send me a message. I'm out there.
Carol Paasch, Paasch.
Yes, that is
There
correct.
we go. Hey, I didn't even have to look.
You're very
Look at
good.
that.
Yeah, when the pizza company, they asked me, what's my name? Carol Paasch, P-O-S-H. Yes, that's good. That's fine. Just give me the
Fine.
pizza. But yeah, P-A-A-S-C-H.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for stopping by and talking with us. We appreciate it.
It's an honor for you guys to ask me. It just kind of came out of, left field. I'm like, what, me?
Of course.
Why?
Of course.
Why not?
Why?
Why not?
Well, thank you
But
so
it's
much.
been enjoyable. I
good.
really
I'm
do
glad you
appreciate it.
enjoyed
And I
Thank
wish you
you.
all success.
And thank you for your patience. You were very calm you were more patient than I would have been. So we really appreciate that.
No,
Yes.
you have to be calm in this industry.
I don't.
Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that.
You heard that here.
Okay, we could sit here and yak all the time. I should probably let somebody else sit down, but I appreciate it, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Really
Thank
Nice
you
meeting
so
you,
much,
Carol.
and all the best for tomorrow.
Thank you. I'll need it.
If you like that video, thumbs up. If you didn't like that video, thumbs down. But leave me a message and let me know your thoughts. Of course, don't forget to subscribe. And in the meantime, stay prepared, everybody.